Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Say something, I'm giving up. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would follow you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Unhinged this week, Australia's only show dedicated to the sounds of the underground. If you can hear me loudly and clearly, I want to see those wow faces going across the screen. If you can hear me loudly and clearly, I want to see those wow faces going across the screen. If we've never met before, my name is Kaiser. I'm the founder of the Club Night Rehab. I'm the host of tonight's show. And I'm apparently a DJ. With me in the studio is my number one in life, Mr. Luke Davids. Luke, mate, you look a bit frozen on the screen. Let me just fix that up. 2 seconds. Luke, what's wrong with you? Luke! Jokes, there is no Luke in the studio. That's just a picture. I think I'm a funny guy. So yeah, obviously Luke's not in here at all. We might put him in there for a little bit. So basically the story is I've been rather sick this week, and that's prevented me from writing the show, and also I didn't want to make everyone else sick that came into the studio. So I cancelled our guest, and I told Luke he could have the week off. And so it's just me in the studio, and I'm going to try and look after all the social media stuff and obviously present the show as well. I hope everyone thought that was kind of funny. I do miss you, Luke. I hope you're watching. I haven't seen you join on on the show as yet. So as a result, this will be a rather short episode, and I want to play lots of ads so then I can gather where I am, so to speak. So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to play an ad, and then we're going to get into the Friday section of the Unhinged Gig Guide. All right, it already feels weird in here because why am I getting angry reacts on the live feed? What's wrong with you people? That's so quiet. There's no one here to talk to. But that doesn't matter. Let's just get into the Unhinged Gig Guide, and we're going to start off with the Gig Guide actually on Thursday, and this is a very special one. I don't know if a lot of you people might know this person as more as Hard Kitty, but Catherine, who is an artist and a DJ and one of our good friends here at Unhinged, is launching another Kickstarter campaign. This is on Thursday, obviously. I'm going to put all the links for all the events in the comment section pretty much during the ad breaks. So definitely show her some support if you're out and about tomorrow night. Let's get into Friday night. Feel Good and Oxfam's music initiative have teamed up once again for Oxjam. It's possibly the only piece of double denim, only time that you'll be able to wear double denim to an event pretty much anywhere in this decade. Be prepared for electronic house and a beer-filled party. The last event was sold out, so be sure to purchase your tickets as soon as possible. I'm really dreading if something goes wrong because everyone will start calling my phone and I'm just totally ignoring it right now, and it's really hard to read all of the comments, but I'm going to give it a shot. HS See You at Candies featuring Jesse Block, I think is how you pronounce that, is also this Friday. Student price drinks all night. You must be over 18 to enter, even if you did finish high school as a 17-year-old. Moving on to Frequency. Frequency returns this weekend. It's also their swan song event, so it's called The Last Rave. Raw Style legend and the man behind ESI Events, Leon, headlines the event, which also features activist Scar, Stave, Mix and Vixen, MC Day Day. Good on you, MC Day Day. It's good to see you back on a bill there. If you happen to be into your techno and minimal, head down to the Sly Fox Hotel on Friday night for Zigmon. The director and co-founder of Basic Records headlines the event at Sly Fox, which falls outside of Sydney's lockout zone, so you can get there at any time you like. If you happen to be a little bit south of Sydney, you want to go down to Canberra this Friday night. This is the place to be, and it is at Cube Nightclub. Hard Envy are celebrating their 4th birthday. It must be a time of the year for birthdays, actually, because we've got another one coming up. But seriously, have a look at the lineup that's behind my noggin right now. We've got Francesco Zeta, Steve Hill, Team Sly, Nomad versus Nasty, Cots and Jorgo. And I mean, if Jorgo's watching, you must be so excited about this event. Rodan and Cassie Bear were like, what an event. If I was in Canberra this Friday night, that's exactly where I would be. And new to the Unhinged Gig Guide is Style up north. So we're going to go from south to right up north. If you're in Newcastle this Friday, monthly club night, it's, excuse me, for the monthly club night, and which features electro, hard dance, hard style, reverse bass, and raw. And I'm sorry if I cough a lot. I'm still... This Friday's event features 2 of Sydney's leading freestyle DJs and hardstyle DJs, Shay Villano and everyone's favourite Korean Arby. Jump on the event page. There is currently a $50 bar tab up for grabs. And that concludes part 1 of the gig guide for this week. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a featured event every gig guide. And after this break, we're going to find out what that featured event is.
2000, a new phenomenon was born in Amsterdam. The most mind-blowing event the industry had ever seen. Traveled across 5 continents. Embraced 34 nations. Transformed the biggest stadiums into gigantic nightclubs. And united millions of people in white. Now, for the first time in Sensation's history, we are bringing a special outdoor festival to Australia. Sensation. Celebrate life. Sydney Olympic Park, November 25th.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a big event, sensation-wide. That's only about 3 weeks away, if I'm not mistaken. Some people have can't wait for rehab. And hey Shannon, how you going? James has joined, finally, in good time actually, because I've already done the Friday gig guide. James? Oi oi. Andy's on his own account. This is where James might be a little bit excited. So we're going to do a featured event every week. And our first featured event is... Oh, look at this one. 170. So we're just going to do a more in-depth look of an event every week. This week's 170, obviously, they are celebrating their 5th birthday, which in promo years is no small feat at all. That's an exceptionally long time. 170 began from very humble beginnings, putting on events with a solely focus on UK hardcore. Zac Efron said the magic number of BPMs of a song was 125, and I reckon the crew from 170 could not disagree with that anymore. I do believe life begins at 170 for those guys. 170 kept the UK hardcore scene alive in Australia, with a lot of strong support from local DJs, including Cots, Ravine, Folk, Xander, Hayes, Sway, Weaver, obviously JTS, and a whole bunch more. Since then, Alfie, aka Technical, has joined the 170 team and helped to take the brand to the next level. 170 have hosted acts like Gamma, Scott Brown, Dougal, Joey Wright, and Brisk. And once again, that is just to name a few. My first 170 was at Herman's Bar. If anyone remembers Herm's Bar, give us a thumbs up if you remember Herm's or Herman's, or however you pronounce it. No one? Great. Talk about Rave's new ravines. Okay, so this Friday's mega event is at Space Nightclub. So what an upgrade from those days back at Herman's. Tickets are $30 and doors open at 9 p.m. And that's where you'll see me on Friday night. So if you do see me, come and say good day. Don't yell in my ear, if I could request one thing. Also with 170, and I've forgotten to do a graphic for this, but Reverse the Bass is having a 170 special on Thursday, which I believe is tomorrow. So check that out. Go to RTV on Facebook and follow the links there for the live stream that you can listen to there. Herman's, yes. Wasted Years, love that club. Is that Space Nightclub, Nicholas, or are you talking about Herman's? I don't know. But that was our event, our featured event. How am I going so far all alone? I think I'm not doing so bad. Tell me in the comment section if you think that I should definitely have Luke here next week. I'm going to comment yes. Speaking of 170 though, check this out.
I walked away with an iron heart and I won't let it break. I'll be okay because you in my
Seriously though, Mob is gonna be off its tits. I'm glad. Oh. Apparently I forgot to change the screen then. That's a bit of my bad. We're gonna start off. Let's just get into Saturday, and I'll just stop dribbling shit out. Eh? I didn't do a graphic for this one either. I don't know where it went. But this Saturday, ignore the graphic that's on there for the moment, is if you're a bit like me and a slightly of the older generation, you're gonna want to kick down to Entrance, which is on at the Greenwood Hotel this Saturday night for a bit of an outdoor shindig. With support, of course, from Aladdin, who is playing his last set as Aladdin. Also, you'll see Tom E and Mark Dynamics there. Moving on to the graphic right behind me right now. ARIA nominated and multi-platinum artist. I didn't even know anyone used that term anymore. Bombs Away headlines Candy's apartment this Saturday. And sticking with Candy's apartment, they are doing a takeover of all places in Tamworth on Saturday as well for their part of the HSC You Later party. That's going to feature Bonker and their mashup specialist, which I reckon is going to be kind of cool. If you happen to be partying in Brisbane on Saturday, speaking of DJ Mob, this is where you want to be. Head up like right after 170. DJ Mob heads up to Brisbane for Psycho Events presents Mob rather. Now at the Capulet venue. I don't know what it is in Brisbane. I think it's just called the Capulet. I feel like saying hotel after it, but apparently I don't. Mob headlines a full bill of top-class DJs such as Scar, Brisk, Converters, and that's Converters with a K, and many more. If you mention Unhinged at the door, you'll receive a free loaf of bread from the bread maker. There's no one in the studio to laugh at my terrible jokes here. Nobody in the studio. Caleb. Speaking of events that are having birthdays, this one is epic. Heinz, if you're in the UK, for our UK viewers, which there are at least one or two that I'm aware of, Hindsight are celebrating their 18th birthday this weekend, making the club legally allowed to drink at its own event. And they're doing it in style. Lab 4, Shock, Uber Druck, M-Zone, Nick the Kid, Ian Cross. Like, if I was in the UK, I would cream over that lineup without any kind of hesitation whatsoever. And finally, for this Saturday, what are we saying yes to Aaron for? I don't know what it is. Kaiser did a funny. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it when someone realizes I did something funny. If you are in Sydney on Saturday, and this is also the other place you're going to find me this weekend, massive. Francesco Zeta, I just seen a post actually from Alfie and Steve Hill there in the studio today. Hopefully finishing up on some kind of sick track, which I'm sure they will be. So that's this Saturday. After 3 sold out events in a row, can Massive make it 4? I would hope so, because Mr. Zeta there has been absolutely producing some belters of late, so definitely get on to that. Looking a little bit further ahead, if I can put up like just a big graphic, because I just threw this show together like yesterday when I started to feel a bit better. Looking further ahead, Project Zero for New Year's Eve. That's all around Australia, or not New Year, around New Year's, all around Australia. Hard Island have announced their second event to be held in November next year. Maybe they thought late October was a bad time for weather. I guess. Or was it early November this year? I don't know. This is why I need a co-host. Also, looking further ahead, Shadows for Brisbane, and they just announced Max Enforcer, if I'm not mistaken, earlier today. So that's looking like being pretty hectic. Obviously, we've got Sensation White on the 25th of November, and a cool little party, which is the revamped Beach Party. That's on December 2. I'll be at that, because I'm playing at it. After this little break, wish I was there. Is in Larissa, is in here. You should be. Holy fuck, yeah, Uber Druck. What are you gonna know, right? Wouldn't it be great to be in the UK right now? After this break, we're going to do some a little bit of a rehab update, since that's only a week and a little bit ago away. I've forgotten how to speak English while I've been...
Project Zero.
Here we stand, protecting our secrets, waiting for our things to come.
Shane apparently wants me to talk a little bit more about the beach party. I'm going to talk more about it at a later episode of Unhinged, a little bit closer to the date. We'll maybe we'll make it a feature event. I think maybe we should. So Nicholas, I hope to see you at that beach party, mate. Okay, let's talk about rehab. We're a week away. We're about to really start pumping some promo. Shane, yeah. And Knockout is Larissa's birthday, which is fantastic. For all those people joining in, you're kind of towards the end, which is great. You're at the important bit right now. Rehab next week. Jump on outtix.co and purchase some tickets. They're heaps cheap. I'm trying to make this one as inexpensive for everyone as possible. We're going to be giving away some CDs, including John Ferris's set from the last Rehab. That's a bit of a Unhinged exclusive. Of course, Amber Savage, Risque, Dave PSI, P-Dance, Radars versus Dave, and me versus anybody. There's been a lot of interest in the Kaiser versus everybody, so if you're watching and you're looking at coming down and having a spin on the decks, make sure you get there nice and early. What's with the angry reacts? Who's doing that? This is why I don't look at Facebook during the show. 2nd of December is your birthday, Anthony. Correct. Well done, mate. And Reed's keen for a beach party too. Obviously, I've done this show pretty loosely, and I haven't really prepared that well for it. New Kaiser CD? Maybe. We'll see how we go. That's actually pretty much the show, guys. It was only going to be a really quick one. So if anyone wants a shout out, or the Savage, if anyone wants a shout out, now would be the time to write it in there, and I'll shout it out, because we're just going to go to a video and say goodbye. I do apologize for the shortness of this show, but unfortunately I've been well. I wasn't even going to do it. That's what she said. All right, here's your last little ad. This is actually the Knockout after movie from 2016, just to get you a bit pumped up for Knockout 2017, the final show.
I felt it before I heard it. The heartbeat of a place I knew I belonged. And forward is the only way the wind blows. The spirit of hardstyle.
place where the spark of life and intelligence burns? Is it possible that, as you look up at the same stars on a warm summer evening or a snowy winter midnight, and wonder if humanity is alone in the universe, at that same instant, someone else on a distant world is looking up at the same sky and wondering the very same question? Life beyond Earth.
Up into the sky, I can see a beam of light. We could feel lost with the machines. Hold on to me.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you wanted a little mix, so I'm going to give you a little mix. Nicholas, shout outs. We're going to give one to Dougie Haywood, first time watcher. Thanks for joining us, mate. Who else we got here? Who else wanted a shout out? Steve Gordon, I'll give you one just because I love you. Someone said, who, what now? Josh, have a shout out. Aaron wants a shout out. Aaron gets 2 shout outs. Hi, Aaron. Aaron, you get a shout out as well. And Kelly. Kelly's putting on or organising and running her first rehab next week. She's the go-to gal. Alright, I'm going to play a short mix. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm going to anyway. Who's a wanker? What's your problem, Ree? Riley, thanks for joining us, mate.
Is this just a dream? Come.
Is this just a dream? Come. 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 To the moon, sun. Is this just a dream? Dream, 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 dream. Just a dream, 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 come. To the moon, sun. Come.
may find it a bit disturbing. You've made contact. What I'm about to tell you, you may find a bit disturbing. You've made contact with an extraterrestrial biological entity. Due to circumstances surrounding your condition, I'm afraid that our information is extremely limited. Can you recall for me the first time you encountered the signal? Extraterrestrial entity. What I'm about to tell you, you may find a bit disturbing.